Hi, I'm Austin Griffith. Last weekend, we took a team to Wyoming and we made tokensubscription.com. It's a website that lets you set up recurring, set it and forget it token subscriptions. So we built on top of that. I got the band back together this weekend and we built on top of that and we created ETH Grants, which is a way to let someone come in and write a grant and then have one or more funders fund that grant with recurring token subscriptions transfers. Okay, so here it is. Basically, you have two options here. It's at ethgrants.com. You have two options here. You'll need to log in with your MetaMask. That's another thing. Like if you don't have, let's see what it looks like. If you are logged out, you're going to get please log in, and once you go to look at stuff, you're not going to have a good time. So if you're looking to fund some stuff or you're looking to write a grant, jump in here and unlock your MetaMask first just so you have it ready to go. So let's go check out what grants there are to be funded so far. So you're the first person hearing about this. No one's heard about it before, so basically there's just my one test grant. And this is on the mainnet, by the way, so all of this is live, real stuff. But the first fake test, it's not fake, it's real. The first grant is buy Austin a beer. This is kind of a joke. You don't need to get in here and buy me a beer. There's probably much better grants that could be put together, but let's go ahead and do that as a demo. So here is the grant. You can kind of read about it. You can see that my monthly goal is to get $10 a month in ongoing subscriptions. And you can see the contract. You can go look at it. You can make sure like the code. Basically, this is all trustless except for this contract. You need to be able to trust that this contract's code is correct, because that's what you're going to be trusting, is that the code in this contract is solid. So if you know Solidity, jump in, check out this contract. Let me know if it's good or not. Also, probably maybe not move a whole bunch of money through this right now because these contracts are unaudited, but we're working on it. Okay, so this is basically the copy of the grant. It tells you what the person is looking for, what the person's all about. There's probably even some links and stuff. Takes you to my portfolio, whatever. Okay, then over here on the right side, we can see our ability to fund this grant. So there's already one running. So this is basically this little username is sending this little username 2.5 stable coins a month, and if it has a little clock, it means it's active and it's working. So it's alive, ready to go. They've already paid their 250. So let's do the same thing. We could wrap Ether if we wanted to. I think 0x has a good way to do that. So if you want to send ETH instead of a token, just go wrap it and send it that way, and they can unwrap it on the other end. It's super easy. You can even do it from Etherscan if you want. Just look up the contract for wrapped Ether. But let's send DAI. It works the best because of fluctuating prices and stuff like that. We're going to send 2.5 DAI, and we're going to incentivize the miner with maybe 10 cents. So the gas price, this is a meta transaction, right? So we're signing this one time, this meta transaction, and it's going to go to a meta transaction pool. It's not going to go on chain. Let's go ahead and do that. And sign. Okay, so now that meta transaction is basically in the network, and it's public. Anybody can have that. It's not a secret thing. Anybody can use that. So basically, it's saying every month send 2.5 DAI from my address to this address, right? To the Austin's beer address, right? And so I can approve an upper bound now. So this will continuously run without anybody having to mess with it. The relayers are going to be incentivized to keep submitting these meta transactions. So it's like set it and forget it, buy me a beer monthly, right? So let's go ahead and just set like an upper bound of like $10 total. I guess that's only 4 months. Let's go $15. So now this is the approval part. This is an on-chain transaction. And what you do is you control... Something doesn't look right. Why does that say null? Something doesn't... It seems like that should say to spin 0. I feel like something's wrong here. Yes, something is wrong. Let's try it one more time just in case, but I think I've got a bug in my front end. Let's see. Yes, I do. Well, let's see if it works. I don't think this is going to work because it says 0 right there, and that doesn't seem right. But let's go ahead and submit it. I have had too many weekends without sleep. Hopefully this just works, but I don't think it's going to. Let's see. So there's the transaction. It's live. We can go see the... Hopefully this will approve 15 tokens to move, but I don't think it's going to. I think maybe I've got my decimals wrong or something. Anyways, you sign the meta transaction, you send it to the meta transaction layer, and it will continue to resubmit it for you once it becomes valid, but it's only valid as you approve them. So you can pause and stop, even though that transaction's in the wild now, and it's signed and cryptographically backed and all that, you still control the flow of the tokens, and this is basically approving this contract specifically. So only the Austin Beer contract is approved to move these tokens. So it's not like someone else could be moving the tokens or anything like that. So it looks like the approval went through, and it does indeed look as if we have a bug, and I need to fix this. Oh no, there it goes, it worked. All right, so I guess I have a bug in the front end, not the back end, because all of that still worked. I bet I have to change something around. But anyways, yeah, so I got in, I set up a transaction to send myself a beer, or to send Austin a beer. I approved an upper bound of like 6 months worth of beer at $2.50 a piece. I incentivized a miner. Look at that. There's even a payment log. The first payment has gone through. Normally this will take a little bit longer because I have the there goes my approved tokens down. The $2.50 went to me, and I can see now active funding is up to $5 out of $10. So I just bought the Buy Austin a beer, and I incentivized the miner to submit it. So if we were to go look at the centralized miner, which it shouldn't be centralized, we're working on that too. But we could go look at that miner, and he just made 10 cents on this too. So that's how you fund a proposal. Let's actually make a grant and see how that works. Hopefully the demo goes better than the funding a grant demo. So yeah, you go to ethgrants.com, you say I want to create a grant. Okay, so let's make a real one since I really do have about $400 worth of AWS server costs. And I would like to start moving some real tokens through this contract just to see, kind of prove it's going to work. I mean, if you're able to steal my $400, it's sort of worth it to me for you to do so and tell me how you did it, and you can have it because we want to make sure this contract is solid. We'd like people to be able to use it. So let's just say, let's call this grant Help Out with Austin's AWS Bill. Okay, and let's say, and I'm going to copy and paste some stuff just to save myself some time. Now, this deploy grant. Okay, so the recipient will be this contract, but technically I can set this. So say you have like a multi-sig wallet you want to send this to. You can deploy this from one account, but have the recipient of the grant be some other address, right? Any address. But I'm just going to go ahead and have it send it to me, right? So what you have to do for each grant, you have to deploy a contract, and it's going to cost us like $1.50 or something. Once you have your recipient set and you like it, you want to deploy a contract, and we will bump up that gas a little bit to speed things up. So it's going to cost me, I think it was like $1.50. You could do it slower. If you're going to go down and work on your description for a while, you can kind of turn that down. Keep an eye. It looks like maybe 3.1 would do it, but we're going for about twice as much as we need to go. And there's that old null still hanging out in my MetaMask. Okay, so there is the deployment of the contract going out. We can see the little loader bar down there. So while your contract is deploying, you've got some time to kind of work on your description. And now that your description can be a nice long talk, and you can kind of describe what you're going to do, and you can use Markdown, and you can switch over to preview mode and make sure it looks good. Okay, so we've got our title, we've got our pitch. Let's make sure I spelled everything right. Probably didn't. Various and products that are meant to enrich the build ecosystem and do not generate revenue. Let's say help a homie out! Exclamation point. Okay, so that looks good. Our contract is deployed. We can even go see that this is probably deployed now. You can even go look at the contract and see the code. You can see that Let's see. Well, the code is public, right? I was going to go see if what the arguments were. I thought those were here, but I guess not. Anyways, the contract is deployed. The grant is written. We're ready to go. It looks good, I think. I'm happy with all of this. I've got a bunch of links to a bunch of my products that are basically running on these servers. So my monthly goal is going to be $400, and my grant duration, it's going to be ongoing. Contact name is Austin Griffith, and all of these are optional, so you can put in whatever you want. I think this looks good. I think we are ready to save this grant. Awesome. Okay, it's a meta transaction. It's not a real transaction. We've already put up the contract, right? So now we're just going to sign that all this information is correct. And there we go. The grant is on the main page. So if I go to home and I go to fund a grant, now we're going to see help out with Austin's AWS bill. So please jump on ethgrants.com, go to help out with Austin's AWS bill, select any number of different tokens. This waste coin is like a fake coin that we used for our token subscription demo, so you probably don't have that, but any of these tokens are fine. It will figure out what the current cost or what the current value of those tokens are and apply it to the active amount. But then you can jump on and say how much of those tokens you want to send. Put in a gas price if you'd like to incentivize the miners to take care of it for you. Pretty soon we'll have a little control panel in here that'll let you submit them on your own. Like you could, if you wanted to, get in and submit these transactions once a month. But the whole point of this is to be set it and forget it, right? So there will eventually be a control panel for the recipient, right, to get in here and say, okay, it's worth it to me, I'm incentivized. But if you don't mind, throw 10 cents, 25 cents, something like that at the miner, and they'll be incentivized to run the transactions for you. So then we can not have to worry about this. We can be off writing cool code and not having to get in here and mine these transactions. So I think that's it. Jump on ethgrants.com to check it out. Again, we built this this weekend. So last weekend we built tokensubscriptions.com. This weekend we built ethgrants.com. It's going to eventually be dev grants for Gitcoin. So developers could, and basically recipients can receive kind of this ongoing recurring token payment for their work, right? Instead of just like filling out a bounty, now it's more like ongoing stuff. So there's a lot of cool stuff that can happen here. Jump on and fund a grant. Jump on and create a grant. Hit me up on Twitter if you have any questions or want to get in on this. Thank you. See ya.